If I was starting an urban homestead from scratch, this is exactly what I would do. First of all, what is an urban homestead? Urban homesteads are literally you growing anything wherever you're at. The only reason they say urban is because it's not in a rural kind of setting. 6 things to ask yourself before you do anything. This is very easy to remember. You're gonna ask yourself who, what, when, where, why, and how. And yes, no, this is not English class. That's just how we're gonna remember how we're going to plan a space. So if you're planning a space for yourself, or maybe you're planning a space for someone else, these are the questions you're gonna ask yourself or you're gonna ask them. The first thing is who. Who is going to manage this space? This year I am planning a space out for my sister who will be newly pregnant when we're putting stuff in the ground. To me, my garden is gonna look different because I am planning for something else. The reason why you want to know who is managing it, because that's gonna tell you basically how much of a garden you can handle and what you're going to put in the garden. Nothing sucks worse than having a wild and out of control garden that someone feels overwhelmed in instead of happy and joyful in. Next thing is what do you want to eat? If you don't know what you want to grow, ask yourself what you usually buy. Do you buy a lot of tomato products? Do you buy a lot of peppers? That is going to tell you what you want to grow or what your family is going to eat. Because why would you grow it if you're not going to eat it? Come on. Next, where? Where are we going to grow our garden? So the best thing that you can do right now is to see how the sun hits particular areas of the yard. A lot of times my peppers want afternoon sun, so I always put them in a place that's going to give them afternoon sun according to what our garden does. So you're going to look out for trees. You're going to look out for power lines. Because certain plants take a different amount of sun and shade, you're going to want to know how your microclimates work. Microclimates are just the different climates that are happening all within your yard. So you want to make sure that depending on what you're growing, you want to put them in a spot that's going to set up your vegetables for success. When are you going to put things in the ground? So recently the USDA has changed their growing zone. I was recently in 5 and now I'm in 6A. It really helps you figure out when your last frost date is and when your first frost date is. My favorite garden tool is the Clyde's garden planner. You can find it on Amazon. I will link it down below, but it literally shows me when I put my fall and my spring. So I flip it over, it's got fall, it's got my start date, beginning date, and it does the same thing for spring. It is literally my garden cheat sheet. If I lost it, I would have to immediately buy another one because I feel like I would be very lost without it. So the next thing is how. How are we going to grow things? So that's really gonna depend on your space. Are we going to do them in a raised bed? Are we doing them in containers? Personally, we grow in raised beds. Whatever works best for you. There's no excuse that you can't grow right where you're at. Very last one, and the most important, is why. Why are we growing things? You know your why. That's what's going to get you out there harvesting constantly and taking care of it. Maybe it's money saving. Maybe it's health reasons. There's such joy in learning how to grow your food and seeing exactly how it grows. If you have any questions on how to start a homestead or anything else, leave them down below and I would love to answer them for you. As always, friends, you are wonderful. If this was helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe, and I'll see you later, friends. Bye.